All right, welcome back to Riverside one last time. I am standing behind the new market and I'm in the shade of the trees because it is a clear, sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. And across the river here are some fish smokers, is what I'm calling them. I don't think I showed them last time, but basically it's Lord Manor pieces, the treasury, the door, and a smokestack. And my story is that we take the fish and we cook them and smoke them and then sell them at the market. And yeah, that's the story. But I tried my hand at making something creative, and that's what I came up with. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. We're running in the new version briefly, and the reason I wanted to show this is number one, we get a lot better frame rate in this version. And number two, the new backdrop just looks like $1,000,000. Look at that. Look at the hills versus what it used to look like. It really gives the map some depth. And I just love the way it looks. And I tell you what, I'm going to miss this city. I didn't like this map. I think I've said that numerous times. And so I decided to build a gigantic castle, which is crazy, and people told me I was crazy, but I did it. And if you ignore the fact that I was in constant debt, it worked. And this is probably the most unique town I've ever created, and I'm gonna miss it. If you remember, they didn't add modding to the monuments until this series was halfway over. Otherwise, I would have probably used less church pieces and more custom modifications like my little towers here. But I don't know, I think it looks good. And now with the hills in the background, it looks really good. All right, so here's where it all started. The Lord Manor is here, and the original town center's right here. This is where I started the game. We've got many of the oaks, some of the pines, and you can see in this version, since food isn't stored at the warehouses anymore, it still looks neat because you can see bags of bread. And because this warehouse is storing bread, which you can't do anymore, I'd have to build granaries if I wanted to continue in this version. And also, so this is that area. And then I just kind of built up down the road here. And remember, this used to be all warehouses in here. Before I turned it back into a town, although I didn't give it enough time to upgrade all these houses. That's the new market. Those are the smoked fish huts where you smoke the fish. I don't know anything about smoking fish, but here's a warehouse that's storing grapes, and you can see that the grapes have their own little graphic now in the buckets. And here's the fish, and they're kind of green, so they may have rotted already. But yeah, and you can also see the clouds moving. If you take a look at these clouds, unlike the static clouds before, look, jumping fish. They're jumping right over her. I hope you can catch some. No excuse there for not catching any. But yeah, you can see the clouds moving ever so slightly, and as they're animated now. A lot of good stuff in the new version, and just looks fantastic. And of course, you know, I love my castle, right? Here's my fort, which I think looks quite good. This did the job of giving me enough kingdom splendor to move on. And we still have the vestiges of all the warehouses. This whole island is filled with warehouses. And right, here is, let's see, so then I built on over in here. I just kind of wound around. This is originally where I put all the iron workers and where we made all the tools, because when I was first building this, I realized that I needed over 1,000 tools. And so we needed a lot of tools along with a lot of stone and a lot of polished stone. But now I have too many tools. Way too many tools. Don't those hills look fantastic? Look at that. But anyway, and then we came out here and I did part of the monastery with the new grapes when we upgraded the first time. all the hunting huts. There's hunters down in here. And this area, it was all grown forest. This was nothing. And some of this was pines. But yeah, there's my forestry hut. I planted pines here. They are smaller than the original pines. How about that? I don't think they get as big as the original pines. I didn't realize that. So I'm just trying to show around, what it's like while I still can here. And it's not nearly as good looking as the last city, I don't think. But it's still, I just love the way in Foundation how you can start with absolutely nothing and end up with a giant city. And I also love the way that, this is not really planned. It is truly organic. I just grew and zoned as I needed and where I needed. And, it worked. I think the only real planning was both the textile district, which you can see is this ridiculous green mess here. And then over there, and let me zoom over on top of it, is where the iron and the associated iron industries are. Were planned. But yeah, that's about it. And I think that looks quite good. I said it before, I'll say it again. I love the way the hills make a backdrop now for the maps. It really makes the maps look a lot bigger than they are. Really, really good touch. This area turned out quite nice. This is the little neighborhood that supports the farming communities. And yeah, it just kind of grew back here. And a lot of upgrades too. Right? And then here's all the windmills. And here's our farms. And I can zoom in a little bit, try to get a slightly closer look. But there, that's a nice view, isn't it? Of the farms and the hills off in the distance. And everybody walking around seemingly aimlessly. And you can really see the farmers now. They take a hack out of the wheat. I'm going to miss this place, but it's time to pay the piper or sneak out of town. And I think you know what my choice is going to be. Yeah, he's going to be here like tomorrow. I got to get out of here. Something about me running up too much debt, squandering the kingdom's money. He's going to throw me in his dungeon. Yeah, no, I got to go. Anyway, Perry, Maury, thanks for coming out and seeing me off. I appreciate it. But, yep, time to go. Yeah, the castle's a little large, but you can take care of it. Maybe the king will move in. Anyway, he's not after you guys, he's after me. So, I'm out of here. No, don't worry. Maury, don't worry. You'll be fine. The king's not after you. He doesn't even know who you are. Everything's going to be fine. Perry, you can move into my manor now. And Maury, it's going to be fine. Perry, I'll miss you. But I will be fine. I've got food. I've got new clothes. I got new shoes. The weather's always good. Take care. I'll see you. Oh, I think this is perfect. Stand on top of a hill during a thunderstorm. Nothing could go wrong here. Weather's always good. Sure. Shoes are ruined. My clothes are almost ruined. Everything's ruined. I've been walking for weeks. It's been raining for weeks. I have no idea where I am. Oh, look. There's people. Well, I need to go introduce myself. Today is their lucky day.